Hey peeps, Erin Zen Warrior here. How you doing? I am just leaving the gym and I was watching something in the gym, and it's something I say to my clients all the time. Train the way you want to look. And I actually was training my client in sprints on the rower. And the rower is actually one of the cardio machines that burns my eyeballs to see people on it. Some people are great on the rower. Some people are rowers. They proper rower erg. And then you've got what I'd call like a gym erg style. And for some reason now, don't forget to like and follow and all that sort of stuff, by the way. But, you know, to me, the gym erg style protects the back, so you sit up more into it instead of lean back. Now, I will accept good posture, gym erg style, or proper rower like erging, where you've got the lean back and the abs are on properly supporting the lower back, or and anything else I won't accept. And what I mean by that is, I just watched someone, lovely person who I happen to know actually, I just passed them and they were on the cross trainer and they had their hands up really high and they were dying. They were doing the hard work, you know, and they were hunched over, their hands were up, their shoulders were up by their ears like earrings. They were completely pelted forward. Their quads were dominant in the movement, which on some of these machines sometimes can be hard to change. You really have to think about your pelvis setting. And most of you don't think about your pelvis setting because you've never been taught anything about it, and you all sit in a desk all day long, and so it's completely disrupted. And what a lot of you do is you come to the gym and you start training, and you don't think about correcting that pelvis and also putting some neurological connection into how you hold your pelvis. That's why one of the things I teach, whether it's online with clients or in person in the gym or in person in my home studio, man, I work everywhere, is actually how to realign their pelvis and work with pelvic stability and pelvic floor. And I love doing it for men, by the way. Pelvic floor for men, boys, that's going to improve everything in your lives. Good for you, good for her, or him, or whoever. Anyway, you know, you're coming into the gym and you haven't even thought about your pelvis. You're just going, fuck, I need to train and I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to do it this way. And I'm like, you would be better off spending time. It's why I've been a postural corrective trainer for almost 20 years, right? You would be better off spending time correcting that pelvis than doing anything else in the gym. And you can still do that with weight, but first you're going to need to release some of the tension and then understand how to move that in the first place. But anyway, back to my friend who was on the cross trainer and everything's all bent out of shape. And I've had this person in my yoga class before. So I've looked at their body a lot and I know what's going on in their shoulders and their mid-thoracic, and it's not pretty. It needs a bit of work. They are older. So, you know, these are areas that get distorted as we get older because, quite frankly, we live wrong. We live in a broken world. And, you know, back when they were learning about exercise and all that sort of stuff, we were teaching a whole lot of stuff to account for the fact that you sat in a desk instead of to counter the fact that you sat in a desk all day. You know, in the 80s and the 90s, I grew up in a gym. We were teaching everyone, don't bend your knees past 90. Now it's like, you're going to have to. Like, it's functional for you to be able to take your knees past 90 degrees. It's a requirement of getting up and down off the ground, which before we had couches and chairs and toilets, you had to do. Some societies still have to do that. And guess what? They have better digestion, they have better defecation, and they don't have lower back problems like we do. You know, like, I mean, have you ever seen an old age archetypal woman with a Zimmer frame? You know? So what I say to people when they're moving is this: train pretty. Train like you want to look. Now, the ass people, they got this right, even though the way they train to me isn't pretty. They want their asses to stick out. So a lot of them train sticking their asses out. Now, let's just talk about that for a minute. You stick your ass out like that when you already sit in a desk where your hip flexors get shortened, you end up kind of with your lower lumbar being compressed because of what's going on through your hip flexors. your lower back. There's no ergonomic chair, first of all. Let's just go back a step. There is no such thing as an ergonomic chair. That's impossible. Sitting in a chair is ergonomically fucked, right? So if there's no ergonomic chair, if you then take chair posture and stick it out in the gym in order to get a big ass, to me, I look at a lot of you ladies who've built the big butt and a lot of you guys who lift heavy, who don't have a good hook on your pelvis, who don't have good pelvic stability. We all need to work on it. And I see sore lower backs. I look at you and I go, you know, if I got you for 5 sessions, I bet you I could change the reality of your lower back and I'd make you squat better. And so, I mean, we have to consider, yeah, sometimes people are training purely for aesthetic. And I'm going to quote Ido Portal here, and I don't know if he quoted someone else. And he's one of the greatest movers of our time, right? And he said, a nose not meant for breathing is ridiculous, right? Like, so muscles built purely for show is like a nose not meant for breathing. Your muscles should be functional. Your muscles should do what they're meant to do. And one of the things that your ass is responsible for and your abs are responsible for and your core function is responsible for is actually pelvic stability. And actually all the muscles in your legs and your feet. And, you know, as the old PT manager of Les Mills City here, someone like said, oh, Serge always used to say that. Serge always used to say it starts in the feet. And it's like, well, that's what I've come from as well. You don't build a house from the roof down, right? You build a house from the ground up. And if your foundations suck, you are going to fall apart. Well, part of your foundation is thinking about what you are training into your body in the gym, at your desk, in your life, in the shitty shoes you put on your feet. Look, I love high heels, right? I barely wear them, but I do wear them. And then I spend like a week trying to pull my feet back together, you know? So, because fashion and ego. But you have to consider what you're putting into your body. And the thing about how you train, how you dance, how you move, how you walk. Pretty is not just about looking good. Pretty is actually speaking to function. We naturally look for symmetry in our partners, not because it's more beautiful, but because it represents health. It is a way to determine health in the system. What do you think acupuncture is doing? It's trying to redefine balance through a system that has a tendency to become asymmetrical. So again, there's a lot of trainers out there that work to symmetry. I work to symmetry, but not obsessively, even though I'm obsessive with my clients. You're always going to be asymmetrical, but when we come to the gym and we do the work that we do, we should be looking to create as much symmetry as possible so that when we go and play capoeira and swing a sword around in one arm and play tennis and lift our baby up and, you know, click a mouse over and over again with one hand, we are doing our best to undo that. And so I want you to think next time in the gym, when you sit on a machine, which I would recommend if you can get out of, you should. But when you sit on a machine, or you pull on a cable, or you run on the treadmill, or you walk up a hill, or you put those shoes on your feet and they cramp your toes, I want you to consider, do I know what I'm doing here? And if you don't know, it's time to ask someone. Have a great day. Erin Zen Warrior signing out. Please like, comment, PM me, ask for information. I love to hear from you guys. You inspire more of these posts and more information. I am going to come to you hopefully later today, if not tomorrow, with the generator shadow for those of you who are curious to hear what I think some of the most common shadows we see are within the different types in human design. If you have any questions you want to ask me on topic or off, please do. Anyway, signing out. Remember, do all the things. Bye.